Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm excited about bringing on my first guest. She's not only been a listener, I should say, and now a long-time guest. She's also one of my sponsors. I have with me Susan Tanko. She's the president of WCI Business Sales, and I welcome you here. First of all, I want you to talk a little bit about yourself and what you all do, and then what we're going to talk about today and why it's so important. Listen up, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Carol, for having me back on. I got to tell you, you have the most exciting job. How cool is this? It's kind of like what I do. You get to meet with people on different businesses and learn. Every time you meet with them, you learn something different about their business.
Absolutely.
And that's the thrill for me too, being a business broker.
Absolutely.
That's what I love.
I can tell now, and you're so passionate about what you do.
So I'm not the only business broker out there, but WCI Business Sales, WCI, has been around almost 60 years. I have two partners, Vinny Sopra and Dennis Hayes. We all have assistants. We have there's probably about 20 of us between two offices. We do have there's a Prescott office that Matt Euler runs, and he is fabulous as well. Separate office, but we do share listings and deals. So, about us, we've been around a long time. You guys have all heard the story before if you watched before, but we have been around there. We're the oldest, largest, and probably most heavily staffed business sale office. And we also are all licensed real estate agents, so we sell commercial real estate as well. If it's connected to the business, you don't have to go out and hire another agent to do that. We're already licensed, which, by the way, in Arizona, you are supposed to be licensed to sell a business in Arizona. And if you are not, and you get caught trying to represent a buyer or seller in the sale of their business, you could get in a lot of trouble by the Arizona Department of Real Estate.
And a lot of people don't realize this. It's a question you should ask and make sure that they maybe even have proof of that. Because to me, I've gotten myself burned. I don't know about you in your lifetime, And you said that there's so many out there now, and it's been happening more and more and more. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so it's becoming more common for companies to form websites to attract buyers. Let us help you find a business, and they're not licensed. So they're feeding off of our work. They're calling us, asking us for co-brokes, then come to find out they're not even licensed by the Arizona Department of Real Estate. We cannot co-broke with someone who's not licensed. They're not following the rules. They could actually be shut down. It's very scary.
You know what you said before you came on, Carol? You said to me this, Carol, I follow the rules. And you know what? That is just so you. And
I do. I've always been a rules girl, right back to dating.
Yeah, and I love it. But here's the thing: when we talk about scammers, and it's a scamming situation here, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're going to get in any way they can, and it's really sort of sad.
People are desperate to make money. They'll try anything. So they'll have a buyer sign up that's already been signed up with us for 10 years.
Wow.
And then this company will contact us and say, hey, John Smith, we're going to use a very generic name, is interested in X, Y, and Z business. Please send us those files. So we have non-disclosures. We figure out if that's an actual buyer or not that's contacting us. And if they're not, they'll finally come around and say, well, we are representing John Smith. Okay. So John Smith is going to pay you an additional fee. He's already signed up with us. We already are working with John Smith. He gets our Best Buys list every month. What are we doing?
Exactly. You know what? The other thing is we should talk about how you work with, which is on a contingency basis.
So we represent sellers, and sellers get pay us on a contingency basis when we close escrow. Does John Smith need representation? Well, let's see. John Smith's probably going to get an SBA loan, so he's got the bank behind him. John Smith is probably going to hire a CPA. He's got to pay that person. John Smith usually comes with an attorney, so he's going to pay that person. So what do you need an extra person in there for? I just don't even understand the math on this.
Right, but most people don't know. They don't
No,
think
and they're
about it.
scared, and they get scared by these companies. Oh, you need to hire us, something might happen. Well, I'm running a deal right now that we requested a co-brook. I said, absolutely not. I've been working with that person. I actually introduced him to the seller already. What are you here for? Oh, we're charging a fee to represent him. Okay. Well, come to find out, this company wasn't even, the person I was talking to, wasn't even licensed. So I went to the top and found the actual designated broker and got them involved, so that things were done properly. On behalf of the buyer, I did that, and I don't have to. I don't represent buyers, but I'm a rules girl, and if I see something slipping through the cracks, I'm gonna blow the whistle. Call me a whistleblower.
That's okay, because I'm.
But
gonna
I
blow
want
the whistle.
everyone to be safe and careful and use licensed people. You know, when you're licensed and you hold that license, it is your livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
If I refer someone and I know that they are incompetent or there's been some problems in the past, I have to tell people or not refer them at all.
Hmm.
So I'm very careful, and I want to know that the people that I'm working with, whoever they represent or back, that they're being careful too.
Yeah.
And that's why I like working with the sellers and buyers attorneys and CPAs.
Well, the other thing though about you all is that you have a company that has been around for 60 years, and that says something for itself, right?
Well, my father was an attorney in California, and he still is. So there you go.
And but what I have to say is, what I really like is there's a thing called ethics
Yes.
that I like to talk about every once in a while. And
Yes.
to me, when your integrity and your ethics is all about your, not just yourselves, but for your clients. that
And
you
our
work with.
firm's reputation.
Absolutely, it means so much. And you know, when you're looking right now out there, if you're looking to sell your business, first of all, let them handle you. First, they've been around for 60 years, they have the experience, they're all about doing everything on the up and up. It's all about that, making sure that you also get the most money for your business, which is what
Absolutely,
you do.
we work on commission.
That's right.
But we are very close to appraisals when and we'll talk about that next perhaps, the opinion of value versus an actual appraisal. But we get really close. That's how knowledgeable we are.
But first of all, also too, because of the way that you are, yourself being so passionate about what you do. So maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know, you're getting ready to sell, you've been thinking about it, they're gonna help you through the process, through the whole thing. You hold their hand and you make the process effortless.
We hold hand with everyone in the deal.
I was gonna say that, I'm glad you said it, but
Yeah.
it's so true
Yeah.
that you do that. And so the number to call them is 602-795-2005. The website is WCI Broker without the S.com. And I want you to go up there, and I'm gonna say right now, there's a lot of people, gosh, you know, somebody's been thinking about possibly retiring, and they're gonna sell their business, or they may wanna, you know, move on, right? When is the best time to call you?
About a year before you want to sell.
So if you're thinking about it, if you've been mulling it over in your head,
Yeah.
this is the time, because you know what, they're gonna help you make sure that everything's right so that you can get the best.
Before you file your next tax return, talk
That
to
phone
me.
number to call is 602-795-2005. It's WCI Broker without the S.com. Hang tight, we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, keep on talking, because we are still live
Right.
right there. Okay, so we got onto that pretty good there. We're gonna go into, did you want to talk about the appraisals now and the valuations, right? Tell
We
me.
can talk about that now, or we can talk about that when we go live again.
Oh,
I
no,
think
I
that's
would
an
not.
important
Yeah,
point.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so when a client, someone's looking to sell their business and they call you, what is the process that they go through?
Well, first of all, and most importantly, you need to have your books in order. So you need to go to a CPA or your accountant, and make sure that everything lines up for the last 5 years. There can't be any questionable add backs that can't be explained. Some people will run personal things through the business, or let's say you have a PPO loan or some type of employee retention loan now is available through the SBA. So all of a sudden you've got 200,000 in the till that comes in as income. Well, it's not really income, it's a loan from the government in most cases. So we need to weed all that out before, so we're not overstating things when we do go to market, because number one, the buyer's gonna bring a CPA. Smart buyers bring accountants that do books and records reviews. And they're going to trace the money.
Right. It's all about the books.
Yeah, it's all about the books. So think about this. It doesn't matter what type of business or what the business is. You're always looking at the numbers. You want to know, how much can my business afford to pay for itself?
Okay.
That's
So
all.
that's when you say that's all, it sounds easy, but it's
Well,
not.
it's easy for me because I've been doing it a long time, and believe me, I don't know everything. I'll come across something, every month, and I go, wow, I haven't seen this before, but I know who to reach out to figure it out.
Right, but I want to ask you, somebody who has, just thinking about it, they call you up and you start to talk to them, and you're gonna help guide them as to what to do. If they didn't have a CPA, or they didn't know, do you have people that you can recommend to them?
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
We can recommend attorneys, CPAs, accountants. My partner Janice just came across someone really wonderful that will do a complete review and a recast of everything, and he found more money than we did.
There you go, well, that's a
Yeah.
good guy to keep.
What a fabulous person to know, for a fee.
So welcome back, everyone. We're talking about selling your business. And I was thinking, I know we've been talking a little bit to Facebook land during the break, but I was thinking about a lot of the people who will come to you to sell their business. Might even be some, grandma and grandpa have had their business for a really long time.
I'm a grandma.
Well, hold on. So, but they don't know anything. They're just like, we really want to sell our business. We don't know what to do. We come to you, we start, and one of the first things that you said was the most important thing was to have your books all up.
You need to have your books in order. So we can tell within the first meeting if there's probably going to be a problem or not. And we can refer people to help you, and maybe you have your own accountant. So the smaller businesses tend to not be as on top of their accounting as the larger businesses, because what, do you need to? And sometimes someone will call and say, well, I have all my tax returns filed, but I don't even know what my sales are so far this year, and here it is September.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. So you need to at least have quarterly statements. We like to get these deals done through SBA, which means they need no less than 90-day, current interim statements. The buyer's accountant is going to want to do a books and records review in most cases, or sometimes the buyer is a CPA and does his own. But they want to look at up to last Friday what sales were and what is going on, especially with tariffs and everything going on. There's kind of been a lot of fluctuation in almost every industry, even construction, which we sell a lot of.
I'm just going to ask you before I go to this next question with you, is that any kind of business, what do you like to focus on?
As far as what do I like to sell?
Yeah.
We only sell businesses that make money, so.
Okay, so, but any kind of
Service
type
businesses are mostly what we sell, but that runs the gambit. That could be anything from an accounting or a firm that hires people for you,
Mm-hmm.
or a service company could be a plumber that comes out and fixes things.
Sure.
So service really runs the gamut there. Construction's a little more specialized. We sell a ton of construction companies, especially the larger ones. The number one requested is air conditioning.
Well, I
Because we live in
wonder
Arizona.
why.
Yeah, so you need licenses for a lot of those and experience to get the license.
So the phone number to call them is 602-795-2005. The website is WCIBroker.com. I want to go back to this because you wanted to talk about the valuations of businesses and the appraisals versus opinion of value.
Sure, so similar to commercial real estate appraisals, there are people that'll do like a drive-by appraisal, just kind of looking at the area. Oh, that's $2,000, $1,500, we think it would sell in this range. Or there's full-blown appraisal. We're coming in the building, we're gonna mark down what kind of electrical you've upgraded to, look at the flooring, look at the cracks in the ceiling. That's a full-blown appraisal, much more expensive for whoever's paying for it. Incidentally, once you're under contract, the buyer pays for those. But beforehand, we have two things that we offer. If you just want to sit down with us, we'll look at the books and records, tell you what we think the business would come in at. We will pull comps on the real estate. We are licensed real estate agents. We're not realtors. We're licensed real estate agents. There's a difference there too.
There's a big difference.
That's no charge. We do those all week long. If you want something written, we charge between $3,000 and $5,000 for what's called a broker's opinion of value, and we will put together something that you can take to court to an unfortunate divorce situation or a family squabble, a partner, whatever it is. Someone's leaving and you need an opinion of value. We do those. Using the same information, but we go a little deeper into depth and we put it in a nice package and make copies for you, that you can share with whoever needs a copy of that.
That's awesome. I mean,
But that's not an appraisal.
That's different.
You want a full-blown appraisal, you'll go to an appraiser. It takes much longer. They get right down to what every piece of equipment is actually valued at. But ironically, I told you I've been doing this almost 30 years. I've gotten, not boasting, it's not boasting if it's true, right? I've gotten so good at this that I am so close to where the appraisal comes in. I've learned how to do that. And we have 300 years of experience at our office between all of our agents.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them have been doing this longer than I. And we come really, really close. Because, you know why? Because the appraisers come to our office and tell us how to do it.
But also because you've been doing this so long, you can
Yeah.
tell before.
But things change, and a swimming pool route company will sell at a different multiple than a CPA firm, than a construction company, than a retail convenience store, all different formulas. If anybody calls you and says, oh, your business is worth 2.5 to 3 times cash flow, well, that may not necessarily be true. It is true in a lot of cases, maybe 60, 70%. But there's that 30% that they're different. That's not how they sell.
And by the way, if anybody just calls you up and says that to you, hang up. That's my opinion.
Say, I'm gonna call Susan.
Yeah, that some doesn't.
No, but
seem
seriously,
right.
you need to be really careful and need to make sure that who you pick has some experience behind them.
Oh, not some.
Not
There should be.
necessarily in your industry. People will call us. There's so many businesses out there you've never even thought of. It's
Oh, I'm
amazing,
sure.
amazing fun business.
It's amazing.
And you'll go, wow, I never even thought of that business. Why didn't I think of that?
Mm-hmm.
And then you figure out what the value is. And we have all kinds of resources. We have something we call the Bible that has almost every business you can imagine in it, and history on the sales of those businesses. So we go to work and we figure out what it is worth. And we always price at maximum value, sometimes a little over, so that there can be a little nibbling by the buyer. But yeah, we're pretty good at this.
Absolutely. And I also want to say something is, when someone comes to you, they're going to sell their business. You basically, once you start talking to them on the phone, already have people that you know.
If we called you to sell your business, it's because we already have buyers calling us
Right.
saying, do you have any more of XYZ business? Well,
Mm.
geez, we just sold our last 2, but we'll go to work for you.
That you know how.
And we don't charge the buyer anything, but we'll make specific phone calls for buyers. And we get the listing, represent the seller, it all works for everyone. We're willing to work. And you know what, working on commission for this long, that's unheard of.
I know.
I work
know
on
what you mean.
straight commission.
I understand. That's
I
the
know
story
you
of my
get
life.
it. I know you get it.
Yeah. But, and you don't realize, people out there don't realize when you work on commission, really how hard people
You better
really
be
work.
driven.
Oh, yeah, you better be,
Yeah.
because if you're not, and you couldn't live that way, you just couldn't. And so that's why it takes a strong person like you, right?
Yeah.
But let's go into some of these other things here. The role of a licensed agent. Salespeople are just people.
Yeah, please remember that. Salespeople are people. We're gonna go out there with our best effort. We're going to do everything that we know how to do. We don't need to know. We need to understand your business, but we don't need to know how to fill your shoes ourselves. So it's a collaborative effort between us and the seller to develop a really nice package. And we will price it at the maximum that the market will bear. But I don't need to know how to, install piping or those types of things. I guess what I'm trying to say is we know how to sell the business, you know how to run it as the seller.
Right.
Let's work together.
Same thing with me. I mean, you don't have to be somebody that knows how to drain a drain, go
Right.
down there.
It'd be
and
really cool to learn that.
But you don't
I love
need to
going
know
and
that.
watching, but
You know how
yeah,
to
I
sell
don't
that
need to know.
business
Yeah.
at the most profit that person can get, and
Right.
that's it. And that's all you want them to know. That's it.
Right, and if they know how to sell businesses, please come to our office, we need more agents.
Okay, there you go. I was gonna air that one today.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, folks, anybody that is thinking about selling their business, if you've been on the fence, these are the people to call. They have been in this industry for 60 years, over 300 years of experience with all of them that there has been. And her father is the one that's opened this business originally, right?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
60 years ago.
So that's 60
On
years
July
ago.
4th.
And you've been in it for 30 years. Let me tell you something, folks. You want somebody out there that is going to be there on your side, working as hard as they can. And when somebody works on commission only, they do. And
They
that's
do.
what's awesome.
They
There's
do.
no doubt.
And we have a team of people, and we talk to each other. We had a broker meeting yesterday. We shared ideas and scenarios, and it's fabulous that we have that for you.
So call them. Their number is 602-795-2005. Maybe it's you or someone that you know. Tell them about this. Check them out on the website. It's WCI Broker without an S.com. Hold on.